happy weekend. It's Saturday. Just gonna preface this little brief by saying any pain your quads are in after this workout, blame the guy behind the camera, Dave. Very against this workout. Very against it. It's gonna be so hard. But so short and sweet at the same time. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. So, our workout today, we're gonna start with rotating through for 20 minutes, 15 per arm, half kneeling dumbbell strict press. 10 per arm tricep kickbacks, and then 5 high box jumps. We'll go over modification if you don't have a box to jump to. So rotating through, we got those half kneeling dumbbell strict presses. Here's what that's gonna look like. I'm gonna assume my lunge position where I have my back thigh vertical with the ground and my front shin vertical with the ground. From there, whichever leg is the back leg, that arm's the one that's gonna be pressing. So my right leg's back. I'm gonna get that right arm to have that dumbbell in hand, and I'm gonna bring that dumbbell up to my shoulder. From here, I'm gonna drive my elbows slightly out to lock in that shoulder blade behind. I don't wanna be looking like this with a collapsed elbow. I wanna be in a nice strong position, making sure my core is locked down. I'm gonna take a big breath in with that dumbbell on my shoulder, and as I press up, I'm gonna exhale into that locked out position. So here's what it looks like. And then I'll reset, and then repeat that breathing process. All right, so I want to be nice and smooth. We can get a little pause at the top and a little pause at the bottom. What we don't want to see is non-stop movement where you're just busting out the 15 reps like this. We're not showing a lot of good motor control when we do that. We're just doing the work to get it done. Remember, we want to be doing these repetitions with purpose to each of them. So focusing on that breath, making sure it's a nice strong lockout at the top, and then resetting that dumbbell back to the shoulder in control. And then you would switch your legs up and switch that dumbbell into the other hand to repeat the same thing on the other side. So you have 15 per side there for those half kneeling strict presses. Then the dumbbell tricep kickback. I'm gonna stay down here. A lot of knee work today. A lot of time on the knees. Make sure you get a little towel to cushion your knees if you got sensitive knees like me. I'm gonna get into this tabletop position. For this tricep kickback, I'm gonna get my dumbbell. You need a light weight for this. If you have a really light weight that makes these easy, we're gonna add in a pause. But if you have an appropriate weight, here's what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna tuck my elbow up to my side and keep my arm at about a 90-degree angle. So you can see my forearm to my upper arm is going to be at, 90-degree angle, not 45. That would be here, it's ridiculous. So 90-degree angle is my elbow. From here, I'm only gonna move from my elbow down. So I don't wanna be moving my shoulder back and forth at all. From my shoulder to my elbow stays perfectly in place. I'm gonna extend back, make sure my arm locks out, and then I'm gonna reset that dumbbell to where I started. So it'll look like this. So you can see my shoulder's not doing any of the movement. It's not swinging forward and swinging back at all like this. It's a nice strict movement, just looking to use that tricep. So you got 10 each side. Again, if you have a really light weight where you're not feeling it that much, give yourself a 1 to 2 second pause each and every rep and really feel yourself squeezing that tricep muscle. The last movement is 5 box jumps. Now, if you don't have a box or a surface to jump to, we're gonna talk about modifications in a second, but if we do, we're really trying to focus. This isn't like a box jump in a workout when we were back at the gym and we're doing like 100 or something in a workout. We're only doing 5 at a time right now. I'm gonna set the box up to a challenging height. Of course, build yourself up first. Don't just go in cold turkey to a high jump. We all know what happens then. Not good, not good at all. I'm gonna get my feet set right under my hips. From here, I'm gonna load up my hips, just like I would kind of load up a deadlift, sending that butt back. My hands are gonna follow. I'm gonna lead the jump with my hands by throwing them up, and then I'm gonna make sure my hips open up all the way. So here's what my box jump will look like. I'm gonna land softly with a slight knee bend. I'm gonna stand all the way up to lock out my hips, and then I can jump or step back down. So again, here's one more. All right, and we would get 5 of those in. Few different options if we are not going to be doing the box jump. Number 1 is to do tuck jumps, and again, take your time with these. These aren't meant to be fast. I'm going to start in that same position. I'm going to load the exact same way. I'm going to jump up into the air as high as I can. Then I'm going to drive my knees up into my chest as best I can. So here's what it'll look like. All right, so I'm trying to pick my feet up as if I was doing a max height box jump. One more. All right, so you got 5 tuck jumps. Take your time in between, make sure you're resetting, your feet are directly under those hips. Another option you can do is going to be a jump from the ground off your knees. So I can come back down to my knees. I'm gonna start by sitting back on my heels. I'm gonna load up by pushing my hands back, letting my chest lean forward. I'm gonna pop those hips open and slide my feet underneath my body. So here's what it's gonna look like. And then I would stand and reset, still getting that hip action involved. Okay, so feel free to try that one out as well if you don't have a box to jump to. Now, ready for this? It's Dave's fault. Dave's fault, not mine, not my fault. AMRAP 6, 100 double unders. In the time, Dave's nodding scarily behind the camera. In the remaining time, max rep full jump, squat jumps. So full, meaning you gotta go all the way down, then you come up. So the double unders are probably only gonna take you about a minute to a minute and a half, 2 minutes at the very most, okay? If you're not doing double unders, you can do single unders where you're doing 200 of them, doubling up the reps again, same time domain. If you don't have the jump rope, you're doing 100 lateral hops over a dumbbell. And then, whatever time's left, you have about 4 to 5 minutes where you're just doing full squat jumps. For those full squat jumps, those quads are gonna be a burning. It's like burning, man. So I'm gonna get my feet set. I'm gonna sink all the way down into my squat as I stand up. I'm gonna get about a 2 or 3 inch jump off of the ground. I can absorb that weight and then go right back into the next one, or I can reset myself every time. So here's if I'm doing this continuously without pausing. All right, I'm making sure my squat mechanics are staying safe and sound. And then if I want to pause after each one, here's what it looks like. So a little slower, but a little bit more control. So you're getting as many as you can in whatever time's left. We're looking to try to get at least 75. And 75, I think some of you speedsters, some of you who can take a lot of lactic acid buildup in the quads, looking to get in the triple digits maybe. Who knows? Maybe you'll get more jump squats than you do double unders in the workout. Could be nuts. Could be wild. All right, so good luck with this one. Text Dave all your hate, 508-817-6625 after this workout is done. See ya.